Am I the a-hole for losing my temper with my estranged father's stepkids who keep trying to bring me into their family? I, 16 male, but will be 17 this month, never met my father until a year ago. He bailed on my mom when she was pregnant with me, and he left town and avoided child support for years. We live in a small town, so I always heard about him, and he and my mom had been a couple for like 10 years, 14 to 24, and they were engaged and everything, but apparently a kid was too much. His family wouldn't help my mom track him down, and they acted all kinds of weird around me. I cared, but not that much. My normal was just me and mom and nothing to do with my father's family. I love my mom. We're a good team, and she gave me the best life she could. We didn't always have the most, but she kept a roof over my head, and I never had to go without food. She did it all without anything from my father. And she tried many times to get child support. Even got an agency involved to track him down, but they said if he was working, it wasn't officially. By the time I was 12, I had decided if my father ever changed his mind, it would be too late. He didn't get to abandon me like that and come back full of regrets. I never expected it though. Not with how good he was at hiding and how weird his family was around me. They're the kind of people who are nice to mostly everyone, but it was like they wanted to tell me to get the F away from them, but they couldn't. Being from such a small town meant I couldn't avoid seeing them around either. But then a year ago, my mom was contacted by my father, reached out to tell mom he was moving back and wanted a relationship with me and would pay back all he owed her. I hated the idea, but he showed up with a wife and like 5 stepkids. He acted like I was going to run out and throw myself at him or something and call him dad and stuff. Whenever I have talked to him, I use his first name. I have shut down all attempts to have a relationship with me. He took mom to court and a judge wouldn't order parenting time, but we are forced to attend reunification therapy together once a week until I turn 18. He doesn't let it stop him from trying to see me and trying to make spend time with him. He has apologized and talked about all the regrets he has and how stepping up for his wife's kids made him realize he messed up and he wants a chance and all that kind of bullshit. But it's not just him. His wife has tried sometimes. She's a lot easier to avoid because her car stands out and I just go another way if I see it. But her kids, 2 are close to my age, and they are relentless. They approach me in school, in the library, at the diner where I work, and even when I'm hanging out with friends. They told me how good of a dad my father was to them, and how he really wants me in his life, and how they think it'd be cool to have another brother. I told them I wasn't interested. I ignored them. I told them hearing all that shift about the guy who abandoned me wasn't making me more open to seeing him, and it hurt. But their team estranged father all the way, and I guess he talks to his family about the therapy sessions because they bring up stuff from there when they try to get me to bond with them or agree to be their brother or whatever. Last Friday is when I might have gone too far. Maybe. I was working after school, and they showed up with their 3 younger siblings and tried to talk about my father. My boss had to ask them to leave and warn them they wouldn't be allowed back in if they kept interrupting stuff. They waited for me and followed me to the library and sat at the table I was studying at. I had to leave after only 15 minutes because I couldn't concentrate. When we got outside, I lost my temper and I told them to F off and leave me alone. I didn't want to be their brother. I didn't want a relationship with their dad. I wanted them all to get the F away and go back to wherever they moved from and pretend they don't know me because I don't want to know any of them. Then I said my father could drop dead for all I care when the oldest, I think, told me how much it meant to my father. Then I said I'd rather be homeless on the streets than a part of their shifty family. The younger kids were upset, and the older 2 were both shocked and angry. I didn't stick around or apologize or try to say anything calmer. I just left. But people heard me, and it was the talk of the town all weekend, and my father blamed my mom. It came up in our therapy appointment yesterday, and he's mad, but still won't leave. He said it wasn't right what I did, but he won't give up. He told me I owed his stepkids an apology, and I'm not doing that. I ignored the stuff he said about why I needed to. But I know this is going to stay an issue, and maybe I wasn't fair, especially when there were younger kids right there. Am I the a-hole?